This is the love log, and this one is interesting, but it could be a little bit creepy. Oh, by the way, welcome to Colorado. I think it's a pretty lovely state. Don't you guys?
Oh, yeah.
We got some Coloradans here. Coloradans. Ryan Job's with us. His mom and dad are here because we're at their house. What a lovely place. It's beautiful. Can you hear the... It's nice. Love log. How does sex relate to love? It's a good one. I think some people want to know that stuff. Not that I have the answer, but I think history tells us a lot about sex and love. So First Things Foundation works overseas. We try to do a lot of stuff. One of the things we try not to do is get too close to people that we're working with in the field, wherever we are. But this attraction thing between human beings is pretty crazy, right? This drive to have sexual relations. I mean, this is a human of human things. And I've been reading a book lately. It's called Christianity and Eros by Philip Sherrard. And he's trying to make sense of the notion of sexual relations and marriage and love. Are they all related? So what do you guys think? Just off the bat, is sex related to love?
That's hard, John. I think for us, if you're in love, then sex is just part of it.
It happens, right?
Yeah, it happens.
So, like on a relation scale, for instance, like my finger is really related to my hand. How related is love to sex? Like 10 being, they're almost exactly the same thing. 1 being, I mean, you don't need one at all without the other. I hope you guys are thinking out there. Ryan, are you thinking? 7. Gina?
7. I'd say
7.
7.
7 sounds good.
7. I don't know. It's good. I think I probably would say 7. I don't know. I think this vlog is to try to say this. It's hella confusing because I think we all know people that have had sex with people that they really despise. Now, at the time, maybe they talked themselves into it was love. People out there know that one of the great memes of men is the next day they're like, I'm out of here. Like, please, as fast as I go, get me out of here. That happens, right? Or at least it's a cliche about sex. I just want to use Sherrard's sort of, here's what he says on various levels, and a lot of this is me, and I hope I'm asking questions. What he says is, in the ancient tradition in Christianity, it was pretty clear that sexual relations were actually sort of like a step down. So what he tries to look at is in the whole Christian tradition. If you like the Christian tradition, there's very similar conversations in Hinduism too. They're not exactly the same. Christianity takes a really hard line on sex. What Sherrard says is, did Adam and Eve have sex in heaven? Or not, heaven's the wrong word, in paradise. In other words, when mankind was close to God, were they also having sex? So it was like Adam setting the table and putting out candles, and was Eve, like, da-da-da. What's the deal with men and women? And what Sherrard says is most of the early Christians said, no, sex was the result or an occurrence that happened after man was separated from God. It was a way that they became to know each other because they were no longer in direct relationship with God himself. And so I think what the early church is saying on some level is, if you know God intimately, you don't need sex. Sex is sort of like the runner-up position. Like, well, if you're not going to be in perfect communion, you might as well do a little bit of that. St. Paul talks about that. So it's super interesting because then now you start to understand monks and nuns. They're actually trying to do that super close thing to God where they get their fulfillment and all of their love from the relationship with God. And so it looks sexless. Does it make sense? That makes a lot of sense to me. But then the problem is, am I doing something in my marriage, for example, with my wife? Am I doing something that's like second best? Or in the worst case scenario, which many Christians have taught over the time, are you actually doing something kind of dirty? It's a really good question. And I swear I don't know the answer. I told you it was going to be a risky vlog. I don't know the answer. I have my hopes and dreams. Sherrard is going to say this, and he's very controversial in a lot of places. Sex is a sacrament. It is a way by which to know beauty and goodness. It's a way in to know God. It's an invitation to know God. But then he says you can only in marriage. Bum, bum, bum. Like everybody under 30 just went bum, bum, bum. Right? So he's going to throw in the marriage part because the marriage part is the sacrament part. It's the mystical part. It's the part where you come together to kill your own egos, and out of that egos comes one giant beautiful flower. The ego is like the water that you gotta pour it out, but in pouring it out, you get something new. You get it? That's the whole idea. You pour out your ego and you grow something independent and beautiful. It's only in marriage that the sex has that quality. Outside of marriage is it has the quality of eating a burger. He says outside of marriage. Now, I don't, again, I like Sherrard, so I'm not trying to fake you guys out, but it's an interesting conversation. Outside of marriage, he says, it's like eating a burger and almost totally unrelated to love. It's just getting some stuff that feels good, and who doesn't know that it feels good? Inside of marriage, it has this quality where it can do something special. So then you gotta ask questions about what marriage is. I don't want to do that on this vlog, but do you guys get what he's trying to say? I think it's old-fashioned though, right? Gina, it's kind of old-fashioned.
That's it.
Now, the Hindu marriage ceremony is very similar. It's very interesting. The Hindus have the Kama Sutra. The Kama Sutra, as many of you probably know, is a holy book. It's a holy set of writings. And what it's all about when you look at it is, it's how to have good sex on some levels. For, this is really important, married couples. It's not for just Joe Blow to go have a really good time in a hotel or on a couch. I don't care where. But the point is, it's for you in a particular context. But they get really graphic. Like a guy with this kind of stuff should do this kind of stuff to a lady with this kind of stuff. Because they're trying to say, now that you're in marriage, get to it. Because it's actually good for you. You see what I'm saying? Sherrard's trying to say something similar. It's a good question, sex and love, how do they go together? Think about it, write comments. It's not always an answer thing, this vlog. It's sometimes a question thing. And check out his book, Christianity and Eros, super interesting. And also, check out First Things Foundation. It's related. Peace, love vlog from Colorado. Job's house, talking a little sexy sex. Kind of fun. Peace, love vlog.